Sitting right in the middle of the town of Gettysburg is a 3-story brick colonial building now named the Inn at Lincoln Square. Built in 1825 by businessman Joel B. Danner, it is one of 4 of the oldest structures in Lincoln Square. The rooms of the inn all now bear the names of the women of the Danner family. When the Civil War broke out, Joel Danner helped to form an emergency militia just in case the fighting arrived on their doorstep. And when the 3-day Battle of Gettysburg began, July 1st, 1863, Danner took his family to a safe place. But when he returned to the family home, he found it had been used as a field hospital, also looted by thieves, and rumors state bodies were stacked in the basement from the floor to the ceiling. Joel Danner passed away July 29, 1885, at the age of 81, nearly 20 years after the Battle of Gettysburg. The last Danner family to reside in the home was Joel's daughter Irene. When Irene died in 1925, in her will, she left the Danner family home and all its contents to the National Young Women's Christian Association, the YWCA. In 1929, the YWCA moved inside, just in time to help women crushed by the Depression. But by 1980, the YWCA had outgrown the property and moved to a much bigger building. Their old headquarters became the Inn at Lincoln Square. The Inn is now owned by Gus Succo and Hillary Steyer, and they've tried to keep its rich history and decor alive. But with its rich history, it also boasts paranormal activity. Paranormal claims range from a man in 19th century clothing sitting in a chair when guests arrived to their room. He then disappeared. A woman in 19th century clothing moving through mirrors. Objects moving on their own. The spirit of a nurse wearing a white uniform. Soldiers' voices, moaning, the smell of death, and possible cases of possession. Join us as we investigate the Inn at Lincoln Square, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. All right, Jason and JV, we are in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania at the Inn at Lincoln Square. Now, this is one of 4 buildings, right?
4 buildings, yeah.
4 buildings that were here prior to the Civil War.
That were here and saw the battle firsthand.
The history of the Inn at Lincoln Square, it was built in 1824. It's one of 4 buildings on the square that witnessed the battle.
So Jimmy has his tool in his hand, his metal detector is what we're talking about. So, and what are we doing, Jim?
Well, here's the deal. This house, during the Battle of Gettysburg, housed corpses, and it was served as a field hospital and a morgue. In the basement, it was reported that when the owner returned here after the battle, he walked in to find bodies stacked chest high in the basement.
I heard one story, apparently, that Mr. Danner returned to find bodies stacked almost chest high in certain parts of the house. So he was very unhappy about that.
The other thing is that the owners here had a medium walk through, and the medium said you have to metal detect the basement. So this isn't normally part of a paranormal investigation, but again, another first for Jay and JV, we are going to metal detect in the basement.
Now, it's a little tight down there. We have a couple metal detectors, but we're only going to use one right now. Well, you've also got the small locator on you.
That's telling me it's an iron signal.
Yep.
Iron. Oh.
Which...
All right, let's see what we got. What the heck? That's hard. Yeah, I'm not getting it anymore.
So I think it was just picking up on...
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Right there?
Yeah, right around there.
Oh, never mind.
You found what it was.
Try it again.
Got something right over there.
Try that.
Yeah, where's it? It's hitting a high pitch somewhere, though. Yeah.
How does Gary Drayton do this so well? Okay, it's whatever this is. Oh, these are ties for like garbage bags
Oh, jeez.
with a metal strip in them. No Civil War relic there. Ooh, that's a pretty impressive one.
How many times have you said that around?
I know.
I'm going to hell, I know.
Oh my God. Right there. You know, it's funny. There's this layer of like ash or something that's white. It's not dark dirt. I don't know what that stuff is. Ah,
What is it?
it's a screw. I'll keep at it.
Yeah.
I'll keep at it, but we're gonna have to go do some other things too.
All right, I'll go get the cameras set.
Yeah.
Well, you dig holes down there.
Yeah, I will. There's a lot of ground to cover, so it's only the beginning.
All right. All right. Jason and JV, and we are starting our investigation at the inn at Lincoln Square. We did some metal detecting in the basement.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this is the thing about metal detecting. No one warned us that part of metal detecting meant getting mud caked on the bottom of your shoes that was so thick you actually had to use a pickaxe to get it off. No one gave us that warning. And we just spent the last 90 minutes cleaning off the bottom of my shoes because do I have extra shoes? So that was an experience.
What size do you wear?
11.
Oh, I had extra shoes in the truck.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, too late now.
What?
We just spent 90 minutes cleaning
We
mine.
drove in my truck. All right. Now, activity happens here day and night. A lot of the claims. So right now it's evening time.
Hillary, the owner, one of the owners, says that when she comes here, she's never alone. She always feels the presence of some type of spirit activity.
But she said it's like a good energy, though.
Yeah, she feels like it's good energy.
Usually when I come in, I just kind of tone everything out and I just don't, I come in for a purpose, but I never feel alone.
Which is nice.
Yeah. What happened?
Just
Step.
missed it. Yeah. Realized that there was a step there.
That is an original Civil War era dress, which if you saw the 360, we talked about it back then.
We do have to take into consideration that we are at Lincoln Square.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
very
so
center.
there are people walking by. There's a lot of talking. Sound does travel. We all know this man when it comes to Gettysburg.
Jimmy Stewart. That was a joke. It was a joke.
I think you meant it. All right. So, again, this is the Irene room on the second floor. The claims in here are of a child jumping on and off the bed. It's just like a really long drawn out door sound.
That was me.
Yeah. But that wasn't like you hear anything. You know. That door, it's creaking, all right. So there's claims of a child jumping on and off the bed rolling a ball, voices, men and women talking, and also a phantom squirrel, that's a new one.
Floor.
Yeah. Is there anyone in here who'd like to talk to us? My name's Jason. This is my friend JV.
Is it a closet?
Yeah. I'm from Rhode Island, little state in between Massachusetts and Connecticut. And Jimmy's from New York, Cooperstown area.
And you know what's important? What's interesting about Cooperstown as it relates to Gettysburg? Abner Doubleday, who lived in Cooperstown, founder of baseball, was one of the officers in the Union Army that fought here in Gettysburg.
A whole lot of people died here. Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Or how about this? Is there anybody here that wants to play with us? Play ball? Roll a ball, maybe? We love to play.
It's ringing.
What is that?
I don't know. I hear it.
Never heard it before.
It's ringing.
What is that?
I don't know. I hear it.
Never heard it before.
It's ringing.
What is that?
I don't know. I hear it.
Never heard it before.
I think it's coming from the air conditioner. I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's the air conditioner.
Oh. Do you want to play ball with us?
Can you tell us your name? Are you from Gettysburg?
We really admire your town of Gettysburg. It's a beautiful town. It went through a very, very traumatic time. Took a long time to recover from that. But it recovered, and now it's a beautiful little community again with a great history that people come from all over the world to appreciate. Can you tell us anything more about Gettysburg? God, these floors are really creaky.
They are, but I mean, it's the original wood too,
Yep.
so.
Yep. Can you at least say hello to us? We hope we're welcome. We certainly are here on a friendly visit.
$165,000 men took part in the battle here in Gettysburg. I know about a third of them became casualties. Do you know any of the men who passed away? There were also 33,000 men wounded. Do you know any of the men that were wounded or passed away here in Gettysburg? That sounded like a response there.
Yeah.
But again, there's outside contamination.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to come back here in January and February where it's like a ghost town.
Mm-hmm. This house was used, as most of the buildings that were standing at the time, as a field hospital. They brought wounded soldiers into the house. Many of them died. Many of them underwent very, very horrific, by today's standards, medical procedures, amputations, and other things. This really was a house of blood at that time. Did you see any of that happen?
Did you help any of the wounded?
Were you one of the soldiers that came here for medical help?
You know that war is over, right? Were you a Union soldier? Sound on the floor.
There's a lot of floor sound.
All right, this is the Annie room. Again, it's just before 8 o'clock. In this room, there were claims of seeing a full body male apparition standing right over here.
Several bizarre incidents. On the third floor, he witnessed a full body apparition.
Turn off this fan. So not so much background noise. Is there anybody up here who would like to talk to us? Gus and Hillary, the owners, asked us to come in and try to talk with someone to see who might still be here. Somebody says they saw you at one point. Can you tell us your name? Maybe your rank?
Whether you're a Union soldier or a Confederate soldier, it doesn't matter anymore. The war is over and we're all one united country again.
I don't know about that fully, but
yeah, that might be an exaggeration.
Yeah. But we're trying.
All right, how about this? We're one country again.
Yes. We're still trying. That's the way it's going.
Well, I've got some... just do that walk again that you just did. Okay, that's your shadow.
Oh, IR shadowing?
Yeah, I saw some shadow movement by the bed. Did you?
It's such a weird little room.
It really is.
It's neat. It's unique. I like it.
One of the things we do have to take into account with all the claims is that the slightest movement walking makes a lot of noise on the floorboards.
And you walking there can make a sound over there.
That's right.
Because of the way the wood is.
That's right.
So it's popping and cracking.
So I'm not discounting everything that's been claimed, but certainly it's something that has to be considered.
So this wall is brick. If you look closely up here, it's actually cinder block. You can see like right here, cinder block, and it just looks like brick.
It was painted to look like brick, I suppose.
Yeah. So now the question is, well, the thought is that possibly this building took cannon fire at one point.
Can I poo-poo that idea a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were told, but yeah, go ahead.
I don't think cinder blocks existed in 1863 when the battle happened, or even until the 20th century. I'm not certain of that, but they are a manufactured product that probably didn't exist until the 20th century. You gonna look it up?
Yeah, I'm going to, yeah. Let's see.
Now, maybe it took damage from a cannonball or whatever.
When were cinder blocks started? The earliest known use of cinder blocks dates back to 1900.
Yeah.
When Harman Palmer invented the machine. But, I mean, then comes the possibility, okay, was it covered with something else for a while?
Right. It could have been damaged during the battle and then fixed with cinder blocks later after maybe a temporary repair of something.
But, I mean, it's a good call on that. So, yeah. So if you look up here, some of the bricks aren't really bricks. They're cinder blocks that are painted to match. And Jimmy makes a valid concern where, all right, maybe something else, maybe this building was hit by cannonball fire at one point. Maybe it was deteriorating over time, but cinder blocks didn't come out until 1900. And in the Civil War, we're talking 1860s.
Yeah, the battle was 1863, July 1, 2, and 3.
I mean, possibly it got damaged, they patched it, and then when cinder blocks came out, but likely that's not the case.
I mean, it very well could have been hit, and the brick was there, but it became loose over time.
It deteriorated over time, and moisture gets into it. I mean,
right.
We got some pretty bad winters and storms here. So, major advance in concrete masonry occurred in 1850 when Joseph Gibbs patented a hollow cast block. This hollow block was filled with concrete after a wall was built. Learning that hollow block could be produced with satisfactory strength and durability, as well as being easier to make and transport to sites, industry interpreters began focusing on producing large quantities of blocks more efficiently. In 1900, Harman S. Palmer patented the basic hollow concrete building block machine. It had removable cores and adjustable sides to allow a variety of block sizes.
I really didn't know he was so fascinated by cinder blocks.
I'm trying to see if I can find you a new pair of shoes. Jimmy and Cinderblock feet. I mean, I don't. It's just in your feet. It's literally. I think you have cinder blocks for feet.
Thanks. I have cinder blocks for feet, he says.
All right. Well, we're going to give you a little while. We're going to let it get dark, and we'll come back up and try to talk to you again. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Remember, we still got those other places. You know, the
townhouses.
Mm-hmm.
The townhouses. One of them is the place where the woman was reported to have been possessed.
Yeah, I'm staying in that one. Oh yeah. All right. Jason and JV. Now investigating at night in the dark. The inn at Lincoln Corner.
Or
Circle.
square.
Square circle. All right.
Or four corners makes a square.
I think, yeah. All right. Jason and JV, we are now investigating at night at the inn at Lincoln Square. All right.
Is anybody here?
So much history here, man.
It's crazy when you think about it. It's really insane. I've always loved Gettysburg, though, even before I was interested in it from a paranormal perspective.
Yeah, wow. Jeez. The amount of people who lost their lives and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, 165,000 plus soldiers fought here, 33,000 wounded.
Yeah.
This is it.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, you and I have talked to a lot of paranormal investigators, whether they're, I'll say professional, I only mean that in the sense that they're in the business somehow, or people that are just casual investigators. And so many of them, when they're asked, how did your interest start? It starts with, well, I was in Gettysburg, and then they tell a story.
I saw a soldier. I saw
Yeah.
Or I thought it was a reenactor.
Right. Yeah. So many people start their stories that way.
All right. Oh, jeez. Lincoln.
I still get a weird feeling from this dress. It's, I guess anytime you see something in a mannequin kind of standing there, it gives you a creepy feeling. But this dress is an original Civil War era dress. I just look at it too and I think, God, people were so much smaller. We're friendly. We're certainly not here to cause you any stress. We're not asking you to leave. All we want to do is know who you are. Can you give us a name? I know there's a little challenge with the air conditioning making noise too, so if you're speaking softly, we probably won't be able to hear you. I'm going to step in the hall where it's a little quieter. Maybe I can hear you there. Can you tell me what your name is? Are you Mr. Danners? Are you one of the Danner family daughters? Suddenly not talkative. We were talking about the dress. Was that your dress? Or do you like that dress? It's a pretty dress. I was commenting on the fact that it seemed like people were much smaller 150 years ago. Is that you on the floor?
No, that's why I'm looking towards you, because I thought that was you.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, it is. Is that the third floor we're hearing it from? Are you trying to come closer? Because we hope you are. We hope you come right up to us and talk.
Where is that coming from, Jim?
I don't know. For me, it sounds like it's above me on the third floor.
I got my headphones off and
You can't tell?
it stopped. That's me walking.
Okay.
I'm gonna go into the third floor.
Okay, I'm following you up. We're going to go up to what was probably the attic when you lived here.
Annie's room.
Annie's room. All the rooms are named after the daughters of the Danvers, or the Danners family. Are you Annie?
Sure am, Daddy Warbucks.
What's a famous song from Annie?
The sun'll come out.
Is that from Annie?
Tomorrow.
Is that from Annie?
Bet your bottom dollars that tomorrow.
Wow, Mr. Hawes, I'm
there'll be
impressed.
sun.
Very impressed.
Just thinking about tomorrow takes away your pain and your sorrow.
Your what and your sorrow?
Till there's none tomorrow. Tomorrow, I love you.
Can I just say you seem to be enjoying that a little too much?
Yep.
We're in Annie's room now. Well, it's called Annie's room. It's named after Annie. And one of the guests here saw a person standing in the corner. Can you show yourself like you did for that person?
A friend of ours, actually, a good friend of ours, had helped transform the inn around 2008, 2009. This friend of ours worked closely with the woman that we bought the inn from. On the third floor, he witnessed a full-body apparition.
So much sound contamination.
That is a lot. You feel footsteps, like the vibration of footsteps?
I'm not feeling anything right now.
No? It could be my heartbeat vibrating through my arms, making this table vibrate.
Yeah, it's just so loud up here.
That's a nice pair.
What?
Right there. On the counter.
Jesus, dude. You can't look at me and say it's a nice pair. I'm like, are they showing?
See, we're laughing. We're friendly. We're fun. You can laugh along with us.
Jimmy told me a story about a watermelon head baby before. Is there a pear head baby?
Can you bang on a wall or something like this?
So loud. I couldn't hear if something was banging.
I know, it's really too loud, sadly. Can you bang on a wall or something like this?
So loud. I couldn't hear if something was
I
banging.
know, it's really too loud, sadly. Can you bang on a wall or something like this?
So loud. I couldn't hear if something was
I
banging.
know, it's really too loud, sadly. I mean, they'd have to appear and glow in the corner for us to really recognize. Yeah. Which you're okay with if you want to appear and glow in the corner.
Absolutely. I don't know.
What door was that? This one's still closed.
That was just a door. That was one.
This one's still closed.
Can you open that and close it again?
Yeah. Well.
I don't know.
And if I walk?
Oh, there was a door. It was a door.
Yeah, I know, but I thought maybe this stepping on the right step made it go or something. Made something lean. No.
That was, that was weird.
Yeah.
And this door's still wide open. Nope. Nope. That wasn't it. All right.
Your music?
Yeah, but the problem is it could be contamination. Though.
Could be. Yeah. How many lines of the Gettysburg Address can you recite?
Our Father, art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, for they forgive those who trespass against us. And forgive us not for temptation, but deliver us from evil. I think I screwed that up.
You did.
That was close.
But still, that's good. That's close enough to the Gettysburg Address.
Oh, Gettysburg Address.
I said Gettysburg Address. You heard Lord's Prayer.
Oh, that's what it was. No, I know it starts off with like what?
Fourscore.
Yeah, fourscore. Yeah, I was trying to figure that one out. It was like,
Fourscore, 7 years ago. Our fathers brought
Yes.
forth onto this continent a new nation.
okay, but first
Conceived
explain to
in
me the
liberty and
fourscore.
dedicated. What?
First, explain to me the whole what.
Fourscore. A score is 20 years. So fourscore is 80 years. So fourscore and 7 years ago is 87 years ago.
I never knew a score was.
Oh, really?
20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so hang on, Jimmy. All right. So
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth unto this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. We are now engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can endure. We are met on a battlefield of that war. That's all I know.
that's like 200 words more than I know. No, I feel bad because it's just I've read it before. I think I got lost on the whole
listen.
score part. Fourscore? What?
Yeah, no, I completely understand. Most people don't know the words to the Gettysburg Address. I'm one of those weirdos that knows some of
I
it.
have it on my phone.
Yeah, well, it's good when you need to look at it. You do.
Google, thank you. All right, so we're wrapping the investigation here at the inn and at Lincoln Square, and it's been an interesting night. But the thing is, it's only been one night, and we do deal with a lot of outside contamination. It's a very busy time down here in Gettysburg, so there are voices outside, but there has been some weird things, some voices that have happened, the sounds of somebody walking up and down the stairs when nobody's there. Now, is that definitely signs of paranormal activity? It's tough to say because, again, we have to take into consideration we got a lot of outside contamination. It's a very busy time down here. There's a lot of people walking by. You can hear people outside while you're in the building. So we look forward to checking into it a little more. We did some metal detecting downstairs in the basement. It didn't really turn up too much, but we do look forward to actually getting back here in January and February, where Gettysburg's like a ghost town, and we'll have access to this property for a week long on our own without having to worry so much about contamination. But that's going to be it for tonight. We got a lot of evidence to go over tomorrow and continue our trip and head to another location. So make sure you check it out.
The Inn at Lincoln Square in Gettysburg was an absolutely beautiful place, but unfortunately, because it is Gettysburg's busy season, we only had one night to investigate. Gus and Hillary, the owners, invited us to come back in the off-season so we can be more thorough in our exploration, but with a little more time on our hands, Jason and I decided to drive to the eerie and captivating ghost town of Centralia, Pennsylvania. It's an area that has a history that's as fascinating as it is tragic.
There's not a lot left out here in Centralia.
Still has the street names, even though there's a cemetery. Centralia, Pennsylvania in Columbia County was once a thriving coal mining community. Founded in 1841, it was incorporated as a borough in 1866. The town's lifeblood was anthracite coal, and at its peak in the early 20th century, Centralia was home to about 2,700 people. It was a bustling community with homes, schools, churches, businesses, and of course, families, all relying on the rich veins of coal beneath their feet.
So in Centralia, this is a church that actually survived, I guess mainly because of its height, but it's the only church still in the area. And it's beautiful too. Of course, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted, and totally understand it. But I mean, you gotta imagine this would be a hopping spot come the weekends, especially Sundays. How it all just stops.
But everything changed in May of 1962. As Memorial Day approached, the town's council decided to clean up the local landfill, as they did every year. Only this year was different. Due to a change in regulations in the state of Pennsylvania, the landfill had been moved to a new location. It was an abandoned strip mine. And a seemingly routine controlled fire was set to clear the trash. The fire department was on hand to manage the burn, and when it appeared extinguished, everyone left. A few days later, it was noted that the trash seemed to be reignited, and the fire department came once again to extinguish it. This happened a third time, and at this point it was discovered that the fire had found its way through a hole in the pit and ignited a coal seam. Homes used to line this area. These are people's front yards. From Death to Destiny. Oh, Bob Saget. Interesting. That's how we do drone footage. Efforts to put out the fire began almost immediately. Workers doused the flames with water and tried to smother it with clay, but the fire continued to spread, creeping through the network of abandoned coal mines that honeycombed the ground beneath Centralia. By the 1970s, the effects of the underground inferno were becoming painfully clear. Smoke and steam, laced with toxic gases, began to seep from the ground. Roads buckled, sinkholes appeared, one which nearly swallowed a young boy in 1981. The very ground that had supported the town was now its greatest threat. Jason's couch. become a dump of sorts. It's really sad that people think this is okay. Really sad. I don't care what's going on here. You don't do this. It's ridiculous. Just do not do this.
In the early 1980s, the severity of the situation could no longer be ignored. Residents were experiencing health problems, and property damage was rampant. In typical fashion, state government response to the crisis was late and inadequate. Finally, in 1984, the federal government allocated $42 million for a relocation program to move citizens from their endangered homes to new locations. Over 1,000 residents accepted buyouts and left, leaving behind their memories and their sense of community.
Have some respect, people. Phew, it stinks.
As the years passed, Centralia transformed from a lively town into a desolate landscape. In 1992, the state of Pennsylvania declared eminent domain over all of the properties, condemning the town. By 2002, Centralia's zip code was revoked, symbolizing its complete erasure from official maps. The streets are cracked and overgrown, and most of the buildings have been demolished. The ground still smokes in places, which is a constant reminder of the fire that refuses to die. In fact, it's estimated that the fire will continue to burn for another 250 years.
These are the steps to someone's former home. And home would have sat right there.
Jason and I came to see the haunting sight of a town consumed by an underground blaze, and to walk the empty streets where nature is slowly reclaiming what was once lost.
He looks like he's gonna fall over.
Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna.